Let's be honest, soggy chicken wings suck. And sometimes it's hard to get smoked chicken wings that are also crispy. I love a crispy wing. I love a smoked wing. I'm going to show you how to do it on the Ninja FlexFlame so you get beautiful color and smokiness like this with this crisp. Fantastic. Let's get started. I tell you what, I cannot stand a wing with rubbery skin. Like if you were to give me a platter of that, I don't even want to eat it. Like I might pick the meat off of it, but the skin is a waste. It's a total wash. You need crispy skin for the best wings ever. I'm going to show you how to do that on the Ninja FlexFlame. If you open up the quick start guide that comes with your Ninja FlexFlame, it recommends setting it to the grill function and then cooking them at 500 degrees, 10 to 20 minutes per side. That is going to give you some crispy skin, but in my opinion, it's going to cook them too fast and it's not going to absorb any of that smoke flavor. Well, the problem with smoking wings, like at a low and slow setting, is that your wings are going to take on the smoke great, but the skin's just not going to get crispy enough because your temperature is going to be too low. So your skins are going to render, but they're not going to crisp up. So the function that I like to use for the crispiest wings on the Ninja FlexFlame is the roast and bake setting set to 375 degrees. That to me is the best of both worlds. At 375, we're getting that higher heat temperature so we can get crispy skins, but we're using the roast bake setting, which has an indirect zone. The way that works is that the front and back burners light up, but that center burner is turned off. So we are going to cook these wings over that center burner so it's indirect heat. And because it's at 375, it's going to take a little bit longer to cook the wings, which gives us plenty of time to add that wood fire flavor by adding pellets and pushing that wood fire technology button. All right, let's get into seasoning up these wings. Now you can use any kind of oil. You can use olive oil, avocado oil, canola oil, but I like using duck fat spray. I like the flavor. Plus, you don't have to use quite as much, which means that you're not going to add as much fat to it as you would if you were going to actually like pour oil in here. This also helps your rub stick. You just want the wings to get just a little bit shiny. Next, we need to season the wings. I, of course, like using my Girls Can Grill chicken rub. You can find it in so many stores and on Amazon or on my website. It's a little bit sweet and really savory. You're going to dump a bunch of it in here and give it a toss until your wings are evenly coated. Now you can actually do this in advance. You could do it the day before. You can do it like 30 minutes before, an hour before. The longer you let it sit, the more the flavors are going to really soak in past just the skins to help flavor up the meat. If you do season them in advance, just make sure that you keep them stored in the refrigerator. If you're in a rush, just go ahead and season them up, store them in the refrigerator, and then go ahead and preheat your grill. And once your grill is preheated and ready, you can go ahead and throw them on. All right, here's what they look like. Evenly coated on all sides. Like I said, I gave them a good toss, wearing a pair of gloves. That helps. You can also use like a fork or a spoon if you want to, but I love getting in there with my hands. It just makes it so much easier. I'm gonna throw these in the fridge and we're gonna go light up the FlexFlame. First, you wanna make sure that you've got plenty of wood pellets inside of the hopper. Then go ahead and ignite the burners and you're gonna turn it to roast bake. Then adjust the temperature to 375 degrees. Push that wood fire technology button. That is going to ignite the pellets. It's going to take like 10 or 15 minutes before the pellets are fully ignited and the grill is heated up. Once the grill is preheated, go ahead and dump them on the grill. You want to be sure to put them in a single layer in just that middle section of the grill because this is the area that has indirect heat. The burner right beneath this is not turned on because we are using the roast bake setting. I like to put it with the skin side down. That helps it get just a little bit extra crispy. Close the lid and let them smoke for about 25 minutes. At that point, I like to open the lid and give them a flip. Also, I like to add more wood pellets at this time. The wood pellets will usually burn for 30 to 45 minutes, but I find that this is the perfect time to just go ahead and add more wood pellets so I get more of that wood fire flavor. Once I get them all flipped over, I go ahead and close the lid again, and then you're gonna wanna cook them for another 10 to 12 minutes. Now it just comes down to how you like your meat. I don't like slimy wings on the inside. I like it really cooked through, kind of well done. So I cook my wings to about 205 degrees internal temp, which is about like the 12-minute mark. But if you like them to be softer, juicier on the inside, then maybe just cook them for 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes. When I take my wings off the grill, I make sure that I put them on a pan and I keep them in a single layer. That's really important because the wings are super hot and they're gonna steam. And if you pile them on top of each other, all of that steam and moisture is gonna soften that great crispy skin that you just created. So put them in a single layer and kind of let them cool from there and then go ahead and bring them in the house. Once they've cooled slightly, then you can start to stack them, but I usually give them about 5 minutes before I layer them up. Serve them up with a side of blue cheese or ranch, and you're good to go. The wings are off the smoker. You can see how beautiful this color is, nice and mahogany. I can see the crispiness from here, but I want you to listen to the crispiness. So you can see the smokiness. We're gonna go in for a bite and just listen. So fantastic. This to me is a perfect wing. And by the way, I'm a flat girl. Let me know in the comments if you are a drummy or a flat person. One more time for the bite so you can hear that crispiness. I mean, so good, you guys. This is a perfect wing. So much smoky flavor, perfect crispiness. That Girls Can Grill chicken rub hits it out of the park. So does that duck fat that just helps the skin crisp a little bit more. You guys can find the whole recipe at girlscangrill.com. I'm about to crush like half of this platter right now. It's best to eat it while it's nice and hot and crispy, because once you do store them as leftovers, they will tend to get a little bit soft again. So if you want to reheat them in an air fryer, that's a great way to crisp them back up. 2 dozen is the perfect amount to fit right there on that middle part of the rack. You guys be sure to hit subscribe so you never miss a recipe. I've got so many more ideas spinning around in my mind. I can't wait to share with you.